Hey everyone, welcome to Jedi Academy. We are two guys who like to talk about Star Wars. My name is Ben and this is um, Don. I'm really going to come here each week and talk about a lesson of Star Wars, share some news with thoughts on the movies, TV shows, books, whatever. And then Star Wars, we have to talk about it. Like I said, my name is Ben. This is Don. How are you
I'm
doing,
doing
my man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, before we get right into talking to this, gotta tell them what us into this world of Star Wars that made us feel in love with. Why don't you
Sure.
kick off first, my man?
Sure. So, I mean, obviously, I was born in '82, so I was right at the year the last one was released. So I saw it as a kid over and over again. All of the originals before any of the George Lucas tweaks. But yeah, and then as everything kind of fell away until the prequels came around, and then the prequels kind of reignited that love again for it, and just kind of from there, I've always just stayed in the loop, kind of learning about the things, legends, and all that stuff. And but yeah, just always been a fan, and love it to this day, man. I mean, you can see behind me, I was married as Anakin from Revenge of the Sith with the whole, dark hood and black outfit and all that. So yeah, I love Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm a little bit younger than you. I was born in '87, but I had a big hit things. I love those things before George Lucas meddled. It was great. And I know this might be a little bit controversial. I don't hate the special editions. I know I might be in the minority on that. Are they all good? No, there are some
Yeah.
bad stuff,
Oh,
but
there's good things in there, sure. Yeah.
like, I don't know. Okay, let me ask you, what do you think about that musical number in Return of the Jedi? In
The
how much
Return of the
you
Jedi. Yeah. I like, of course, I'm going to say I love the original version, but I mean, it's a fun look. The the enhancements, as he says, are fun. They are fun. They are what they are. But I don't think it doesn't take away from the movies. The only one that I think universally everybody hates is the Greedo shot first. That's the only one that I think, or Han didn't shoot first. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. And
So
that, that, you know, scene keeps getting weirder and weirder. They keep playing around with that one particular scene. This up until maybe a few years ago, when out of no reason, they added that weird word,
the McClunky.
McClatchy.
Yes, yes.
Has anybody ever figured out what that means?
I don't know, man. I don't think so because I haven't even seen anything on any of the different shows that I watch or anything or any of the news. Nothing. So I don't know. It's actually a good question because I'm curious.
It's so weird because there's no explanation for it. It comes
Yep.
out of nowhere. Somebody is about to shoot. I forget, at this point, I forget who shoots first. Somebody is about
And
to shoot, and out of nowhere, Peter says, McClatchy. What does that mean? What, I feel like I need, what's that guy's name? I'm sorry, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know Matt Moon with like,
yeah, yes, when they're doing the courtroom.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I need some kind of explanation about McClunky.
yes.
Did
I
you
think
ever
so.
get it? No. But, you know, what I want even is not, because there is no new movies on TV as of right now.
Yeah.
And news is a little dry. I thought leading up to Obi-Wan, we could talk about a movie each week. And
Sure.
kind of
I
like
was really disappointed with the Kathleen or the one that got taken away from what's her name, Patty Jenkins.
yeah, me
I
too.
was really looking forward to that one.
Do you think that's really gone, or do you think we might get it after all?
I don't know. I hope we get it in some way, shape, or form because I was really looking forward to like a Top Gun in space. I thought that would be a really cool idea. I really like that idea.
I wanted that. I can tell you, I wanted the Rangers of the New Republic, Old Republic.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to have, what's his name?
Mhm.
Tuna or something. But,
Yeah. Well, they said they're doing a movie in the new time period, and the
but,
Acolyte is set in the new time period too.
right. What show are you looking forward to the most right now?
I'm probably a little bit biased, but probably Ahsoka. Ahsoka is probably the one I'm looking forward to, but Obi Wan is obviously 1A, or 1B. I mean, it's right there for sure.
we, yeah, me, I'm the same with you. Do you think in Ahsoka, do you think we'll get Hayden Christensen, Ahsoka, and Luke Skywalker in a scene together? Do you think we'll get that in
I hope
Ahsoka?
so. I hope so. I hope so because I was watching one review on the episode from when Luke, with Luke and Ahsoka from Boba Fett, and just the implications of the fact that they've met and had that conversation about Anakin together. That conversation has been had, so that's a big conversation because she knew him as Anakin, and he's only really known him as Vader, and Anakin since he's went back from being Vader.
Right.
So that's a. I would like to see them go into that more and have that conversation. Yeah, with all three of them. Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Now, okay, we talked about the special features about the original trilogy. There's one I want to ask you about.
Okay.
At the end of Return of the Jedi, including Hayden Christensen in that one scene with
Yeah.
Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Do you ever have a problem with that, or do you like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
Wouldn't you
like,
think so? You would
did
think
you,
so, right?
what, no, but did you like Hayden Christensen being in that scene of Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Do I like it?
Yeah.
Mm, I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it makes sense since they did the prequels to put him in there. He was more recognizable than I don't remember what his name is, the guy that played him from the original version. But I think that's appropriate. Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it.
And here's the funny thing. With everything going on now, I think it even makes more sense for him to be the guy that does the commercial and turn it for them. If I'm, if I'm making sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, see, I think the problem with the acting and what people pick out as issues with the prequels really is people have to remember George Lucas was full control on the prequels.
Yeah.
He directed everything they did, everything they said, every way they did everything. So you can't really blame the actors for the prequels. I think they all did. Watching them now, they all did as good a job as they really could with what they were trying to do and what he wanted them to do.
And they have gone on record. George has gone on record. He's not
Yeah,
an actor's director. He likes directing stories. He likes making stories. He doesn't like working with actors.
yeah. Well, I mean, he was basically shooting a cartoon. I mean, they were. in front of green and blue screens 90% of the shoot. So
right.
what are you gonna do? It's hard. It's hard as an actor to do that.
Yeah, we might as well get into talking about the Phantom Menace.
Yes,
Now, this came out in 1999.
right.
Do you remember what it was like before this came out? Were you
Oh,
looking into it?
it was huge. It was the biggest thing at the time because nobody thought we were ever getting Star Wars again. George Lucas pretty much at that point had said he wasn't doing another one. And then all of a sudden he announced this, and I guess it would have been 97 or maybe early 98. And it just, everybody that was a Star Wars fan as a kid just took to it. I mean, there was people dressed up in lines around the theaters, and it was fun to be a Star Wars fan at that point in time for sure. And
Mm,
universally, when the movies came out, they were loved at that time. They weren't as much picked apart as they are now. They really weren't.
do you think that because there was no internet, the internet was a very different place back then?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, because again, it was after the end of these three. Then it was again, we're not getting any more Star Wars again. So it's like, where are we going from this? And then we got Clone Wars, which helped fill in that gap. But a lot of fans didn't want to watch it because it was on Disney, and people thought it was just for kids. So it was hard to get some of the older fans at that point to get into it.
What did you think of Phantom Menace when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, oh, I loved it. I loved it. We were back in that world, we're looking at Anakin and C-3PO and R2-D2, and you hear, Padme, who is, and you just see all this stuff, and it was cool, man. Yeah, absolutely loved it at the time, for sure, when it came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I remember seeing this in the theater, and I remember really, I don't know if I ever loved it, but I remember really, really liking it, you know?
Right.
Like, that lightsaber fight at the end between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul.
Yes. Well,
That,
what had to work in that movie was Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. They had to work in that movie, and I think they do.
let me ask you, do you think, forget, forget about the Clone Wars for a second. Do you think Darth Maul should have been in more than one of the movies? Do you think he
Yeah.
should have been,
But that's again in hindsight, knowing more of his story. I mean, at the time, he was scary at the time. He was really menacing because he was quiet and he was really badass, and he had a two-sided lightsaber, and it was cool. It was cool, and he went up against two Jedi's and he fought them heads up, and I mean, he lost in the end, but he did. He was still pretty good, pretty cool to watch. And Ray Park plays that perfectly. I mean, he's great in that role.
every movie this I mean, in the bring up Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn? What do you think about Qui-Gon in this movie?
Yeah, I like Liam Neeson in this movie a lot. I think he's great casting for that thing. I'm excited to see if he's going to be an Obi Wan because I want to see that interaction again of him, and I want to see the more because now we know more about Qui Gon and how he wasn't quite into the Jedi Order as much as people, other masters were. So it'd be interesting to get more about him and what he really thought about the Jedi Order at that time.
What did you think of Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu?
I love him. I love the casting again. It's such a cool character, and he brings so much to that character. He really does. Because he can't be Samuel L. Jackson. He can't. He can't be rated R. He has to be kid. He has to be for kids, and it's a cool role for him to play. And I think he did it I think he pulled it off because you care when he died, when you know when him and Palpatine fight at the end of Revenge of the Sith. You care when he goes out the window.
What did you think of, what did you think of Anakin in that one, in episode one?
Anakin's still tough for me because I don't think the kid that plays him was ready for the role. But I think with what they were able to get out of him, I think he did enough where you sort of see that in him. He's a little rebellious, but not much yet. And I think what turns him ultimately is the loss of his mother. I think that is what ultimately turned him. Because after that, that's when he loses it on the Raiders, and that's when he sort of just becomes defiant to no reasonable end. You can't reason with them anymore after that.
That's a good point. And like you said, we really aren't hearing to, I mean, the same free feel. How do you feel about their integration in episode one?
The what now? The which ones?
How do you feel about R2 and C3PO being in the movie?
Yeah, I don't. I don't mind it. I don't think they were necessary, but I don't mind it. I mean, of course, it's always good to see them in it because they. I mean, I don't mind that they were in every movie. The only thing I wrote this in my notes, which I kind of forgot or I don't remember pointing or picking it up. But R2 just starts off as a regular repair droid on the Naboo cruiser that they're on, escaping Naboo,
Yeah.
and then just becomes Luke's right hand man and Anakin's right hand man, Padme's. It's sort of one of the most important characters in Star Wars. He was just a regular repair droid, just doing his job.
He knew how to succeed in life. Let me tell you, he must have taken out a seminar or something because he shut up on a toilet down there like
And,
nobody's business.
yeah, and his memory's never been wiped, so he knows all the secrets. He knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows everything, and he's been a loyal person to the Skywalker family.
Do you, when 3PO's mind gets right, do you think Fortune should have told him everything or no?
Yeah, I think so because the only thing is that so Anakin built him, so they had to do the brain wipe on him because if they don't, 4, 5, and 6 just don't make sense with him in them because he would have so much information. Where R2 you can get away with it because he doesn't really talk, so you
Right.
don't actually know what he's saying. So I think 3PO for me is more of the one that I would have rather seen maybe come in later in the movie, some different way, and still have R2 there from where he is, but kind of bring. But again, I don't think it really hurts the movies or hurts anything else. It hurts the story.
They bring him in later, but they're a package duel. They're like
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi. You
Oh, of
can't,
course. And
you
it's great
can't
to see
have,
them together, so you can't really complain about
right, exactly.
it.
And then we should probably bring up some person that everybody talks about in episode one.
Yeah.
Sean Pink. What
Yeah.
are your feelings about this character?
I think like everybody. I mean, he's just a goofy character that doesn't really serve a purpose other than the one little MacGuffin to get them through to Naboo City underwater. I mean, that's really all he's used for. But I think at the end of the day, again, it's Star Wars, man, and you have to remember George Lucas focused this for kids. It was made for kids. It was made to be, a space opera with fun and goofiness in it. So I I kind of am not as cynical as I guess as other Star Wars fans anymore on it because I just love it too much to really just have a reason to hate it.
Same here. Same
Yeah,
here. What do
you just
you
gotta kind of roll with it. It is what it is, and just laugh at it and move on. Because eventually you're gonna get something great like the Mandalorian. Whoever thought we were gonna get the
not me? I mean, great.
Mandalorian? Yeah,
What do you think? What did you think about the pod race?
the pod race.
Yeah.
I love the pod race and always have. I think that's a great scene. I think that holds up still. Even the CGI is a little dated, but I mean, again, what are you gonna do? So but overall, yeah, no, it holds up great. I love that scene. I still think that's one of the best scenes. And the commentators with the two heads, the way they go back, it's great. It's all good.
And of course, some of the hut in that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. The way he spits the thing into the gong to start the.
Um, what did you think of Palpatine in this movie?
I'll be honest, man. At that point, they got me in the first one. I picked it up in the second one, but I wasn't sure it was him in the first one. I wasn't sure yet it was him. But so yeah, they actually pulled that one over my face. I'll admit that. But I like it. He's great as Palpatine. He plays that role very well. I think.
Do you think we'll see him again at some point, or
I don't see how you can't. He's got to be an Obi Wan, right? Because if Vader and Obi Wan are clashing at some point, and the Inquisitors
yeah?
are clashing with him, you would think at some point you'll at least see a hologram of him. Maybe a like a transmission message of him or something.
No, yep. Good point. I forgot about that stuff. What, yep. What did you think about Natalie Portman as Padme?
Oh, I think she's good. I think she pulls it off. But in Phantom Menace, though, she's sort of subdued because she's the handmaid. She doesn't actually play, but she has that one little scene with Qui Gon right before they walk in to Rita, not Rita's, Watto,
Yeah.
Watto's shop, and she says to him, "I don't think the princess would approve." He's like, "The princess isn't here." He's like, "Well, I don't approve." It's a little snarky. And you got to think of it in that world to say that back to a Jedi as being a princess's handmaid. That's probably a big thing. So it's just funny
It
to see that.
is, but you have to remember, she's also a queen.
Yes. Oh yeah, she knows that.
We don't know, but she is a queen.
Right. Yep.
So, to her, it makes sense.
Yeah. Right. So no, I like her overall, and she's tough, man. I love that George let her be tough too. That she wasn't just a damsel in distress, kind of person. That she will pick up a blaster and go in there with everybody. So
They made me believe she was really the mother of Princess Leia.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you have to have that, because if she wasn't, it would be an awful letter if she wasn't like that, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. No, I agree. I would agree for sure.
Yeah, are there any notes you want to bring up? You can do it for notes.
Yeah, sure. Let me look. Let me see if we didn't hit anything that I see. Yeah, we talked about Java, Darth Maul. Yeah, I put Darth Maul severely underused. He was severely underused. He could have been such a core character even for that time. Um, no, I think we touched on pretty much everything I had a note for. So that's pretty good.
And like you said, the news is a little bit dry this week, I guess, because there's really nothing coming out, so
Yeah.
this might be a shorter episode. Going forward, we'll drag it out. Let me ask you, are there any Star Wars games coming out that you're looking forward to playing?
I've been looking forward to whatever that open world game is. I get Eclipse.
Okay.
That I'm definitely looking forward to that. But with I don't know what I don't really know. Haven't heard anything other than that. I know there's three or four of them they're working on, but the only one they really announced is Eclipse. So I don't really know what else they're working on per se. Um, but I'd like to see them do some different stuff, man. I would hope they would do hopefully do some different stuff. One of the coolest episodes, if you ever do watch Clone Wars, is there's an episode with where they're in. It's Kit Fisto and another Jedi and three or four clone troopers, and they get stuck in Grievous's castle,
Ooh.
and Grievous is hunting them in the castle. And I'm telling you what, if they did a horror movie, not even rated R, just a PG-13, just two Jedi and a couple clone troopers go into Grievous's castle and get stuck in there, man, I would watch that movie. I would absolutely watch that movie. It was a horror style with Grievous and stuff. I think they could do some cool stuff in Star Wars if they really expand. I do.
So, you were born in 82, so
Yeah,
let me ask you, which era of Star Wars is your favorite era right now? Like, which
sure.
category of trilogy is your favorite? The old.
My favorite trilogy is going to be the prequel or the originals. I'm sorry, the originals. But I would say right now, honestly, because you know, even though Boba Fett wasn't the perfect show or what I thought it was going to be or wanted, what they're doing right now with the Mandalorian, with Boba Fett, with Obi Wan, with Ahsoka, with the Acolyte, with Visions, just everything they're doing different things, which I think is great. I think that's what we need in Star Wars is just different takes on it, you know, different takes on it from different people. I think that's a good idea.
What?
Some are gonna miss, some are gonna hit, but you just gotta take swings. I think sometimes it's such a big universe.
I'm curious, did you like the sequel trilogy, 7 to 9?
I like I like a lot of it. I would say I like a lot of it. I think there are some choices that they made that were they always say that that's not my Luke, which I don't really say that. I just think a couple of the choices he made were different than what I think he would do at that time. But again, I can't not like something that I love so much. It's hard. It's hard to really critique something that you love so much. But I see what people say about it, and it makes sense. But I think Force Awakens is probably my one. It's in my top five for
Oh,
sure.
really?
Force Awakens is a great movie. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great Star Wars movie.
We have some time. Do you want to reveal your top 5 Star Wars movies?
Top five? Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that. Okay. So top five would be. Let's see. I have Return of the Jedi at five. Force Awakens, Rogue One at three. So Force Awakens at four, Rogue One at three, A New Hope at two, and
Okay.
then Empire Strikes Back at number one. I mean, that's always going to be my favorite movie. I love that movie.
That's my list is A New Hope, number 1.
Okay.
Em- Empire, Empire, number 2.
Uh huh.
Revenge of the Sith, number 3.
Yeah, you said that was number three.
Return of the Jedi, number 4.
Okay.
Rogue One, number 5.
That's legitimate. That's legitimate. Like I said, Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorites from the prequel area for or prequel era for sure. I mean that movie is I think underrated by people in Star Wars for sure. I think there's a lot of the Obi Wan and Anakin story is there if you watch if you pay attention.
And that fight they have, that fight is
Yes, it's
unbelievable.
emotional. It's emotional. You can see it's emotional for them.
Here's a question.
Yeah,
How, how do you feel about Darth Vader being in Obi-Wan, the show?
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense because here's here's two things that I've always said about the prequels that I thought George, for some reason, missed his own story beat. Because if you remember, there's a beat in when Luke and Obi-Wan first meet. They go back to Obi-Wan's hut, and he says, "Uncle Owen thought you were going to follow me like your father did." And we never see that in the prequels, where Owen is a part of the whole story and knows what they're doing and everything. So that one I think is a very weird thing. But with Darth Vader, the thing with Vader is when we find out in Empire that he's Luke's father, right?
Right, right.
That was never planned, and we know that now, obviously, from everything they've said. But you would think that that turn would have happened earlier, and I think because in the Clone Wars season 7, they bring Ahsoka in, and she is a part of that whole transition period, but she's never around him. And without her there, that is what leads to his whole transition, I think.
Okay.
In the end. In the end.
Mhm. So you think if she was there, you, you think if she was there, Vader, Anakin would still be Anakin, basically.
I think it would have been more. I think it would have took more to move him to that decision because she was always his rock, and when she left the Jedi Academy and wasn't there anymore, again after he lost his mother, after he lost Ahsoka, and he was already questioning the Jedi Academy or the Jedi Order because of them asking him to spy on Palpatine. All of that combined, I think, just finally set him off where he was like, I don't know what else to do. I mean, everybody I care for, except for Obi-Wan, which he at that point thought Obi-Wan turned on him, has turned on me. So, and the confrontation with him and Mace Windu, I think, was the last straw, too. I think that was a big part of it. There's a lot that goes. I think there's a lot in there. If when you watch the movies again, it's actually a complex turn that he makes
Let, let
between two
me,
and three.
let me ask you,
Yeah,
if Anakin went with Mace Windu, your Palpatine, instead of being told not to go, do you think he still would have turned?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because that's all he wanted was to be seen as a peer at that point. He just wanted to be seen as an equal because he knew he was just as powerful or more powerful than most of them, even on the council. Or at least he felt that way. He felt that he was he felt that he was number one Jedi in the world at that point. He didn't think anybody could touch him. And the fact that they didn't make him a master, they gave him the seat but not the title. Like I said, there's a lot in there if you really unpack it. There's a lot that goes into his decision. It's not just like he's a teenage kid just letting off angst. They do a lot to him to make him turn. They really do.
Yeah, I'm not you, I really, I really said, I love episode 3. Oh, the problems with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we need, did we need Grievous? I don't know. What did you think about General Grievous in that movie? Did you like him?
Yeah, the only thing is because I guess he was a new character, it was just kind of a little weird. But once you know who he is and you kind of get who he is, yeah, he's a cool character. He's
Okay,
definitely a cool character to
fine.
to to play with. That's why I said I'd love to see him in something different. If they went back to that era because he gave Obi Wan a fight.
Yeah,
He
he
gives
did.
Obi Wan a fight. So and Mace Windu, I just watched a video today. Mace Windu wouldn't fight him because he
Really?
has yeah, because the reason he was able to defeat so many Jedi was because he has a part computer brain that he can analyze their fight style and basically use it against them. And Mace said that because he uses Vapad and Vapad basically taps into the dark side, even though he doesn't have the Force. If he could perfect that style of lightsaber combat, he could basically destroy any Jedi in seconds. So Mace said that he would never fight him again because the first time he fought him, he would realize that he was learning Vapad as he was fighting him, and he was like, I can't do that because he would if he learned it and mastered it, he would kill all of us. It was a
Let
really
me
cool video. I never thought of it.
let me ask you,
Yeah.
if news came out tomorrow that they're going to do a young Mace Windu show,
Mhm.
how would you feel?
Oh, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. That's what I'd like to see. I would like to see a if we went back, could you? So let's do Game of Thrones, but Mandalorians. Do the Mandalorian history, but a Game of Thrones style show,
Ooh,
like like 6, 7, 8 seasons, like Game of Thrones, where you get all the houses fighting for power over the years, and you could jump between seasons through centuries or whatever to different time periods. And I would like them to do stuff like that. Go back and do the original history. Knights of the Old Republic. Do a show about Knights of the Old Republic. That's one of the best storylines in Star Wars.
I think we talked about this. We come from like the same fan circle. So you watch like Christian Horner, right?
Yes. Oh, of course. Oh, absolutely.
So he's all about TV shows right now. Are
Yeah.
you the same way? Are you TV shows over movies or are you movies over TV shows?
Sure. Yeah. I like you said, I do watch him obviously a lot. And I at first when he first started saying that, I was sort of like, I still want movies though. I still want movies. But like I said, after Mandalorian and even Boba Fett and what we're getting, with Andor even and Ahsoka, I want to see where it goes. But I still want movies. I do still want movies. I think movies are still important in Star Wars.
So what would your dream Star Wars movie be? You have one?
A dream Star Wars movie. Um, I think that would be the one I mentioned actually earlier. Would be the one, the Grievous's castle, because I thought about that a lot. I just love that episode, and I think that would be a cool idea if they could do it in a really horror way and really make it, scary. And he's a good character when you dig deep into him.
That would be good.
Yeah,
I think I would want an early Darth Vader movie of
okay,
him just going around the galaxy, demolishing the Jedi. I
okay.
don't know if that would ever happen, making a hard, hard PG-15 or soft rated R. I think that could be really fun and exciting.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I'll give you one that I think would be cool now that I've seen it on screen. How about a like Lethal Weapon style Boba Fett and Cobb Vanth on Tatooine,
I would love
buddy,
that.
like a buddy cop, just them going around, so, taking out whatever on Tatooine, just having fun.
You know
I think
what?
that would be cool.
For a TV show, they give me a combat show. Set in a small town,
Yeah.
that would be,
Oh yeah,
they,
and Cobb
they,
Vanth could always make fun of him taking his armor back and all that. And, he took my armor from me and stuff like just all that. That would be a good show. They could do a lot with that.
making a good, gritty wrestling. Oh, that would be awesome. Hell,
Yeah,
maybe
have fun with it.
yeah.
Have fun with it. Not everything has to see. I think that's the thing with Kathleen Kennedy. I think that's what people are starting to notice with Kathleen Kennedy. She is so worried that people aren't going to understand the references that she won't do anything that's like deep, deep knowledge. If it's not surface level and everybody sort of knows about it or has heard about it at some point, she's not going to do it. And it sucks because I think there's a lot you can do if you just had fun with it, man. Like Max Rebus, if you did a Max Rebus show with like him going around just on one series, little series thing where he has to deal with a gangster that he owes money to or something, and he's got to go play music or some Tatooine or something. I mean, something like that would be fun. It would be so much fun.
It
Just
would
little
be,
things like that.
yeah.
Even if it was like, let's do a 6 episode animated series of that, just for fun, just so it's not too serious.
Speaking of animated shows, you
Yeah.
said you've seen Clone Wars. I'm assuming you've seen Rebels, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen The Resistance?
I watched 2 or 3 episodes, I think, and then I just kind of fizzled out of it after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I was wondering if it was.
It's not great. I don't
Okay.
think Filoni did that one though. I don't believe so.
I saw this great meme on Facebook yesterday. It's the Family Guy meme with Men on top and Stewie, Peter, and Griffin on the bottom.
Yes.
And says, "You think you're better than me?" And on top with the Resistance, and the bottom with a Mandalorian, Rebels, and Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. That is fun. So let me ask you a question. I have a question. So what do you think? Because like I said about Kathleen Kennedy, I think a lot of people have an issue with her. And I think where she should be is head of Lucasfilm. She's head of Lucasfilm. She's the main executive producer, obviously, and all that. But why wouldn't you put Dave Filoni in charge of the TV side, John Favreau in charge of the movie side, have them work together on everything, write the stories out, and just bring in like Deborah Chow, like Bryce Dallas Howard. They're making good picks on directors with the shows. Let them run the creative part of Lucasfilm and just sit back and let them do it. Dave Filoni knows Star Wars better than anybody, I think. And but what do you think about that?
I'm 100%, 150%, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I,
It
the
sucks
big,
because everybody says fire her, and I don't want to fire her. I don't want her to go anywhere. I think, she's given us a lot of great things, but she's got to step back on the creative part. I think she's too involved.
the biggest problem with 7 through 9, and I think it's official, they never had a plan.
They never
They
had a plan.
never had a plan going into it.
You can't do that. Now, see,
I,
and they said because they wanted it to be like the Darth Vader moment, where it kind of flew organically into the second one that where Darth Vader became his father instead of two different people. But it's not that way anymore. It doesn't work like that, especially when you're dealing with that much lore.
well, here's the problem. The only reason, and I heard this before, and I think I believe it, the only reason it worked so well that first time, the guy who came up with it was the guy who created everything in Star Wars.
Right.
So he knew, depending on who or when you ask, he
Mhm.
had a rough guideline of where he wanted the story to end up. That I believe.
Right.
Kathleen Kennedy, great producer, she didn't create the Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Right.
She
Yeah.
bought the Star Wars from Lucas.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
They need, they needed a plan. They needed somebody to come in, write a plan. I'll be honest, when I saw The Last Jedi, Episode 8, I liked it. I liked the kind of new direction they were going in.
Yeah.
But 9 came out.
Yeah.
I don't care who you ask. They retcon A so much in that one. They,
Well, they missed the biggest ending ever with instead of just the voices, the actual, Force Ghost showing up behind her. How do you not do the Force Ghosts? If you're going to do that ending, how do you not do the Force Ghosts? And they all collectively absorb into her as he's, I mean, I don't understand that choice at all.
here's the problem. to me, my own personal opinion,
Mhm.
when they bought Star Wars, they should have made 7 through 9 and closing out of the entire Skywalker saga. Focusing more on the original three characters.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
absolutely.
and then 10 through 12.
Well, the
But,
fact that we never got the big three together also is that's a huge letdown.
oh, yeah,
That
the
we never
more,
got Carrie Fisher, Han Solo, Leia, Han, and Luke together again one last time.
okay,
That's
that, I'm guessing. Are you a Jurassic Park fan? The movie?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see that newest trailer?
Yes. Yes.
And I like that trailer. It made me sad because in that trailer, they managed to do the one thing Star Wars was never able to do. They got the original three people back together in that trailer that Star Wars didn't do.
Yeah. Right. They did it. Yeah, they pulled it off because that is just that little clip is funny of just them three standing there together again. So
The
you're
fact
right.
that we never got that pisses me off.
Well, just at the end, why wouldn't Luke? I still don't understand that. Is why wasn't Luke standing there and catching that lightsaber on
And
on the star base
in 7.
in the snow? It
Yeah.
shouldn't have been Ray. It should have been Luke. Luke should have been the one to show up and grab that saber, and then the end could be them three
Uh,
connecting again because you can't again as
let
I
me
don't
ask.
hate it and I don't disagree with it, but I don't like the way they killed Han Solo. I don't like it. That is one thing I just haven't been able to reconcile with. I don't like it. I really don't. Because I don't think he's redeemable after that. And to bring him back after that, I don't think he is. I honestly just don't believe he is. When they bring him back at 9, I don't believe it. He killed Han Solo. He killed his own father. That's
Yeah,
that's a that's big in Star Wars.
yeah.
Because even Luke wouldn't cross that line.
No, and he was an orphan. He had a
Yeah.
chance to kill Vader, and he didn't
And
do it.
he wouldn't even cross that line. So for him to be able to do that and so blatantly look him in his eyes and do it, take the helmet off, look him dead in his eyes, and just dead face basically stab him with the light, turn the lightsaber on. That's
Okay,
cold.
let me ask you this.
Sure.
If it wasn't him killing him, if
Okay.
it was somebody else killing Han Solo, would you have been okay with it?
I think if you're going to do Han Solo, you do all three. You do Chewie, Millennium Falcon, and Han Solo. They all blow up in the Millennium Falcon together. I think that's how you take them out.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe a big battle or something, something like that. I think that's how they go out.
Right.
The Falcon malfunctions and Chewie's trying to fix it, and they just happen to get him that time. They can't get away that time. You know, I think that's how you send them off because they always get away. They always get
Yeah.
away. So,
I also wonder, knowing that Kevin Fisher died in 8, I wonder if this still would have killed him in 7.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
The only, like I said, the main issue I think I have with the sequel trilogy, I think the only thing for me that really kills it is Luke and just the way he's handled overall. Because I get if he's broken away from the Force because of what he did. I understand that. But Luke would never be that stubborn. I just don't see it. I don't see him being that stubborn where he wouldn't eventually be like, all right, I have to step in and help them. I have to help them. And he
Yeah,
does, but I don't feel like that's Luke. That's not Luke. I think Luke at that point would have been there next to her. I don't know. But again, who knows? Who knows exactly how
Yeah,
he's feeling?
yeah.
You know?
It makes me sad, but I'm happy we're getting all this new content on Disney Plus.
Yes.
I take a break from the movies for a while. We have some great stuff. We're going to be talking about it every week.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Obi-Wan. I can't wait for that trailer.
Yeah. Well, we
And,
have to find out. We have to find out, when did Obi-Wan finally try to bring him back?
right, we need,
Because he says to Luke, Obi-Wan once thought the way you do. And we've never ever seen that, that scene where Obi-Wan really finally tries to plead with him and say, I can, yeah, all right, that's it.
right,
So I think that's the scene we're going to get, is him finally trying and saying, you know what, you're Vader. You're not Anakin anymore.
right. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Yes.
All right.
It'll be exciting.
I think I think I'm gonna do it for this episode. I mean, you'll
Sure.
be back next week to talk Attack of the Clones.
Absolutely.
Hoping we get a trailer, maybe, hopefully.
By then,
Uh,
I would think so.
well,
You know what's cool too? May 25th is the 45th
anniversary. So,
anniversary
yeah,
of, yeah, New
yep,
Hope. So
yep.
that's great.
I can't wait. And yeah, before we leave, tell everyone where they can find you.
So yeah, they can find me at Jedi Master Tuck on Twitter. And I am on Facebook. And you can just look me up for Don Tucker. I'm on there. Um, yeah, that's really all I have right now. I need to get on some other socials and start promoting a little more.
And I'm right there with you. And you can find me at Ben_Rainier on Twitter and at Ben Rainier on Facebook. You can find me all over this channel. It's my new channel, the Morning First of Kingdom. I have a show every Monday, deep dive.
Yeah,
I am doing this show. And you can also find me at my on the Northern Entertainment Group where I'm here doing Northern Countdown and Rewind the Tape. And I think that we're doing. We'll be back next Wednesday at 6:30. Come back to the Jedi Academy. We'll see you next week. May the force be with you. Always.
absolutely. May the force be with you. Have a great night.